What's up, knife lovers? Welcome back to BladeStuff. My name is Chad Swindell, and today we are going to review the Civivi Odium. Let's do this. Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right into this. Let me first say that by the time this video airs, we will have already given this knife away. This is the Civivi Odium that we did a giveaway on as a thank you for all of the people that have supported my channel and subscribed to my channel. Again, I'm humbled that anyone would want to sit and listen to me ramble about knives, but thank you so very much. And before I get into the Odium, I have to give another shout out to Nick Evans. He provided this mat for me, friend of mine, and look at this. This is a beautiful mat, handcrafted leather, super. I cannot tell you how much that I love this thing. It is just wonderful. He had Imperial Leather make this for me, and Joey did a wonderful job. So shout out to Imperial Leather. Okay, let's jump right into the review here. The Civivi Odium. This is model C2010G. This is designed by Ferrum Forge, and it's manufactured by Civivi in their manufacturing facility in China. So those of you that may be new, let me explain the process. We're going to break this review down into three separate categories: in pocket, in hand, and in action. So in pocket is going to talk about the size of the knife, the weight of the knife, and that sort of thing, how much real estate it's going to take up in your pocket. The in hand category is going to talk about how it feels in your hand, the ergonomics that it has. And the in action category is going to talk about what the knife is really made of and how durable that it should be. So let's get this thing going. Let me also say that my opinions on this will be based on the price point of this particular knife so that we can determine, you know, the basic value of it. Speaking of the price point, this is a very economical knife for what you're getting. So at the time of filming this, you can pick these up brand new for less than 60 bucks. All right, and we'll go through all the specs and what it's made of here in a little bit, and I'm surprised that they can make a knife like this for less than 60 bucks. I will put an affiliate link down below if anyone is interested in picking one of these up. So without further ado, let's jump into the in pocket category. Now, what do I mean by the in pocket? So let's look at the specs, okay? Let's look at the weight of the knife. All right, so this is coming in at 2.4 ounces. So it's not very heavy at all. Let's look at the closed length of this guy. You're looking at about 3.5 inches. The width is about 1 1/16 inches. Flipper tab is going to add a little bit to that, so about 1.25 inches if you consider the flipper tab. Why is this important? Well, this is how much real estate it's going to take up in your pocket. Whatever pocket you decide to carry this in, more than likely you're going to have something else in that pocket. That could be your phone, that could be your wallet, could be both, whatever. But that's the reason that the specs are important in the in-pocket category. So while we're looking at sizes, let's do some comparisons. There's your Civivi Odium right there. Let's do a Benchmade Mini Barrage. Okay, so the Odium's a little bit smaller than that. The Ace Biblio by Giant Mouse. Okay, a little smaller than that as well. ZT 770. Spyderco Sage 5. And the Benchmade Mini Bug Out. So the closest one would definitely be the Benchmade Mini Bug Out in regards to the size. Now let's talk about the clip for a second. Now the clip obviously needs to retain the knife wherever you decide to put it. You want it to keep it there. While it does have a deep carry style clip, I wouldn't classify this necessarily as deep carry. Maybe I'd classify it as semi-deep carry. And that is because there is still approximately, I don't know, I would guess that to be about 3/8 of an inch that is sticking out past that. So when you have this thing seated in your pocket, you're still going to see that much sticking up, which doesn't bother me necessarily, but it is noteworthy nonetheless. So that's basically how much of that knife is going to stick up with it in your pocket. Now I did find that the clip did remain sturdy enough to keep the knife seated in my pocket wherever I had it mounted. I will also note that I didn't have any problems with it trying to snag or grab anything as I walked by. And the thickness of the knife, right about 7/16 thick on that, so a little less than 1/2 inch. So the knife is just not taking up a lot of room at all in your pocket. Now let's move on to the in-hand category. This category is going to cover anything from the aesthetics, the ergonomics, the deployment, fidget factor, and that sort of thing. Let's start out with the scales. Let me give you a close-up of the scales. This is a green micarta. It does have a little bit of texture, but nothing too extreme. Now, micarta should wear in pretty good and should actually deepen in color. So the more you carry micarta, the oils in your hand kind of transfer over and give whatever color of micarta you have a little bit deeper finish. Some people use mineral oil to force that reaction quicker rather than later. Now let's talk about the open grip. So let's open this guy up. So open grip right there. Are there any sharp or unfriendly edges? I do feel the clip kind of poking me in the palm there just a little bit, but it's not too terribly bad. Open grip isn't terrible. Does it fit my hand? I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a little bit small for me. So as you can see, I'm getting 3 fingers on that. I can almost get a 4th with my thumb on the jimping there. It does feel like I have a solid grip, but if I could get the rest of that pinky on there, it would feel much better to me. So there's your balance point on this knife. So it's not really off balance, doesn't feel too heavy on the blade or on the scales. Now I will note it's got this finger choil right here. When you grip up on the finger choil, to me that feels a whole lot better. Am I gonna grip it like this in a hard use application? Probably not, but it does feel much more comfortable because I can get my pinky on that grip. So I feel like I've got a 4-finger grip when I choke up on and use that finger choil. Deployment and action. So it deploys really well. It is a flipper knife. You can hear that. It's got a good sound to that. It's very snappy. That's not the only deployment method that you can use. It has this, you can't really call it a hole, but it has this opening in the blade that you can easily pinch with both fingers and then follow it through with your thumb. You can flip it with your thumb. I almost dropped it just then, so it's small enough for me that it's a little awkward to thumb flip like that, and reverse flick is possible, but honestly it doesn't happen every time because it's a little awkward feeling. You can easily be open with your non-dominant hand, closed as well. Now the aesthetics on this guy, it's a neat looking little knife. It looks good in both the open position and the closed position. It's got a neat look. So Ferrum Forge did a good job with the design, I think. I do like the colors on this, but I think that once this micarta deepens a little bit, it's going to look even better. So I think it's only going to get better from here, to be honest. Some views, it's hard to even tell that this has a green tint to it right now, but that will change over time. So we've got good centering on the blade. Now we've talked about the clip in regards to functionality, and I feel like it functions great, as I've already mentioned, but aesthetically it bothers me a little bit that they mounted it directly on the scales. There's no recess or anything, you can see right there, and that kind of sticks out to me. It didn't affect the functionality at all, but I just think it would look better if it was recessed. So overall, on the in-hand category, the knife is a little small for me, but it does have a good sound. I do get a little bit concerned because of how I have to hold it when I close it, that when I'm closing it, I got to make sure that my pinky's out of the way because it's so small. I don't want to bite the end of my finger. We've probably all done that sometime or another. There is no blade play, so it's pretty solid. So overall, in the in-hand category, I would say this knife is a little bit small for my taste. I like knives that are a little bit bigger, but for its size, it feels very well made. It's hard to even believe that they've made it this good for that price. So good job, Civivi, on that part. So in regards to the fidget factor, yes, I've definitely fidgeted with it, but it's still a little bit small for me, so it's not going to be my choice. If I have other knives on the table, it's not going to be the first one I grab to fidget with. But let's be honest, if you're a knife person, you're probably going to fidget with it. All right, let's jump into the in-action category. This is where we're going to talk about what the knife is really made of. Let's talk about the knife build. So lockup is going to be stainless steel liners. Right there, it's a liner lock, and you can see the lockup is not bad at all. So it feels very sturdy, very strong. And notice that there is some grip right there on the liner lock. I do like that, so that when you get ready to close it, you can get your thumb in there and you can feel that, because when you look at the view on it, you got very little to grab. So you got to kind of reach in between there to do that. Pivot type on this guy is going to be caged ceramic ball bearings. So it's very smooth. So the blade steel in this guy is D2. D2 is not bad steel at all. The one thing you have to worry about with D2, or one of the things, is corrosion. So it has a tendency to corrode and to rust. That's why a lot of times, or most times even, you're going to see a manufacturer that has D2 on the blade. It's going to have some kind of a coating on the blade. Well, that helps protect it. This is a black stonewash coating, so that's going to protect that D2 from corrosion. The blade shape it's very unique. As mentioned before, I think it looks good, has a good aesthetic look to it. It's a flat ground blade. And let's see here. So the spine's at 1180, and you're going to retain that most of the way down the blade. So it should be a pretty good, rigid, and durable knife for the size. Flat ground blade there. It does have a finger choil. This will also act as a sharpening choil. I see absolutely zero sharpening challenges with this knife. So when we're talking about the grip in the in-action category, we're not just talking about comfort. We're talking about safety as well. So if you need a knife in a hard use type of situation, then you want to be able to use it while still being safe and protected. If I was using it in hard use, I would probably refrain from the finger choil here, because I feel a little bit vulnerable with that sharp area right there. So I would be holding it behind this flipper tab. And honestly, even though I don't get my fourth finger on this knife, I still feel like I've got a grip that is locked in pretty well. And I've got jimping up top. It's not bad jimping at all. So I do feel like I can get a pretty good grip on it and could use it in a hard use application. I wouldn't be afraid to do that at all. Now, due to its size, would it be my first choice for a hard user? Probably not, but I do think that it could be used in that type of application. My overall opinion in regards to the in-action category is this is a very well-built knife. For the price point and for the size of this knife, I do think it's very well built, and I think it should stand up to the test. It's not my top choice, only due to the fact that it's a little smaller knife. If this was a little bit bigger, then I could see myself carrying it a lot more than I would. But it's a great knife, and I'm gonna have to say overall, Civivi did a great job putting good materials, good workmanship into a knife at a low price point. So great job, Civivi. So I would like to say thank you very much for watching the review of the Civivi Odium. I do appreciate it. If you have not subscribed to our channel, I invite you to consider that. If you like our content, please subscribe to the channel. Also, please like this video. Let me comment down below and let me know what you think. Let me know what you like. Let me know what I can do different. Let me know if you'd like to see something reviewed. I'm always open for comments, and I appreciate every one of them. For those of you that have already subscribed to my channel, thank you so very much. I couldn't do this without you. You guys are awesome. You can also find me on Instagram, where I provide visual knife content there as well. And without further ado, God bless. Keep it sharp.